Good kick right in front of the goal, and it's in.
Back in, up to his corner, take the shot, he scores!
Peters Township High School Stadium for this afternoon's non-section match between the Peters Township Indians and the Central Catholic Vikings. The starting lineups for Central Catholic. Number 99, junior, A.J. Ewing. Number 9, senior, Casey Shore. Number 14, sophomore, Connor Nick. Number 5, sophomore, Sam Little. Number 10, senior, Sean Nick. Number 8, senior, Brian McGaffey. Number 6, senior, Liam Pulford. Number 15, senior, Nicholas Langhart. Number 34, sophomore, Gino DiMatteo. Number 20, senior, Tyler Gannon. Number 17, junior, Marco Morgano. And for the starting lineup for the Peters Township Indians, number 0, senior, Jackson Bazzer. Number 3, junior, Matthew Dobb. Number 4, junior, Nathan Farmer. Number 5, freshman, Austin Marmol. Number 9, junior, Anthony Kita. Number 12, senior, Christian Verner. Number 14, senior, John Patuch. Number 17, freshman, Andrew Masucci. Number 19, senior, Spencer Piskorski. Number 21, junior, Tyson Antosh. And number 25, senior, Brian Brezowitz. The Indians are coached by Bobby Dyer, assisted by Lucas Heasley, Lewis Osborne, Joe Jolinski, and Jesse Shire.
Welcome to Peters Township High School Stadium, where today the Indians will play host to the Vikings of Central Catholic in non-section play. Beautiful sunshiny 65-degree day here in McMurray as the teams get ready to take the field. Referee checks with the keepers. We get an all clear. It's the opening whistle. Brezowitz will put it to the far side, not as deep as usual. Ball comes right back to him. Now Verner on the far side will possess the ball. Now Verner back to Masucci. Verner square through to Masucci again. Masucci will try to change the field. He's going to come all the way across and find Kita at the 40. Kita finds Antosh. Antosh changing it back to the left. Now Masucci's got a good ball out to Verner out in the corner. Verner's got guys in there. The ball's in, on frame. And looks like keeper gets it up and it hits the crossbar, the football crossbar. So that will result in the corner kick. Looks like Nathan Farmer will take this kick. A.J. Ewing, the keeper for Central Catholic, able to punch that one up and over. Farmer's kick is away. Ewing comes out, scoops that one up out of danger. Ewing's punt is away. Doesn't get all of that one. Interesting. Hawkeye Antosh tells me that was indeed the right call. That ball went off of Kita. It's Brian McGriffin to throw that ball in. Goes up and over Masucci. Dobb trying to get out of trouble. Can't get there. Still down in there. And Dobb kicks it out of bounds. Will result in a throw-in. Brian McGaffin. I apologize. I think I mispronounced your name before. McGaffin with a throw for Central Catholic. That ball is served into the box. Now at the arc, Antosh trying to clear it out. He's looking for Marmol. Now the ball coming back across into the zone plate, all the way back to the keeper for Central Catholic. Marmol will apply a little bit of pressure, force Ewing to play it out. He plays it right to midfield spot where Batuch will scoop it up, and he's going to carry the ball looking for Antosh. Can't get it through. Now Masucci with control of the ball. He's going to come to the near side to Kita. Kita under heavy pressure, can't handle it, loses possession. Masucci bails him out of trouble. Trying to play the line for Marmol. That's a great ball. Marmol does a good job to find it. Oh, I think he banked that right off of Connor Nip. Looked pretty clear from here, right in front of the goal, in front of the referee, but referee saw it another way. Kita gets the head onto that one, off that throw in. Now Brusdowitz has it from Farmer. Brusdowitz looking square for either Werner or Antosh. It was a no man's lane. Neither one of them could get there. Now Patuch trying to do something with it. Now Brusdowitz will settle and play it out wide to Werner on the far side. He's going to try to get to Marmol off the mark. Now Farmer steps in and collects the ball. Puts a shot on goal. Ewing unable to handle it cleanly, but no pressure by the Indians. Ewing's punt is away. Won by Werner at midfield. Now, looks like we've got a handball on Antosh. Kick taken by Casey Shore. Masucci able to get that ball going the other way. Now Marmol fighting for the ball on the other side with Connor Nip. Now Werner's going to play that down the line on the far side, where Marmol will try to give some chase. And Central Catholic content to just play it across the field. Kita challenges but unable to stop the ball. Ball's coming out. Big collision right in front of us with Patuch and Nick Lainert. That'll be an Indians throw in, John Patuch. Oh, no, looks like they called a foul. And Brian Brusdowitz will serve this ball. Vikings will hold at the 18. Service is up. And looks like we've got offside or encroachment if you're a Whippeal referee. A.J. Ewing, goalkeeper for the Vikings, to put this ball in play on the offside call. First ball won by Farmer. Gets it to Brusdowitz's feet. Brusdowitz under some pressure. Ball's pinging and ponging. Now Brusdowitz able to beat one. Still in traffic. Still has possession. Playing that ball down the line for Marmol. Just too many white jerseys. Now Kita will throw this ball in. He's going to look for Brusdowitz. Plays it off his thigh. Brusdowitz can't control it, though. Now Spencer Piskorski back to Kita. Kita's trying to change the field. That's a nice ball. Had Farmer and Werner in the box. Slides out the other end. Looks like Werner will take this throw. Looking for Marmol. Marmol goes down. The turf monster gets him. Werner puts it up. Too close to A.J. Ewing, who's had a lot of action. He's looked good so far. Ewing's punt is away. Second ball won by Patuch. Now Farmer steps in. He's unable to settle. There's a turnover. Now here come the Vikings. Was Gino DiMatteo down there looking for Sean Nip.
It's going to be our throw. The way I see it.
And yes, John Patuch with the Indians throw. Good eyes by our crack spotter here to catch that from the far side of the field. Ball bouncing around now. Brusdowitz is going to look for Kita. He's trying to make that run down the line. Here he goes. Let's see. He's got Connor Nip that's going to just play it out and wait for his defenders to come back and help. Looks like Keita's going to take this throw. Everybody crashing toward him. He's going to throw it to Antosh. Doesn't field it cleanly. And Indians luck out on that one. That's another throw for us taken by Bruzdowitz. Antosh is going to check two. Masucci fills the space, receives the ball. Well done. Now Keita under heavy pressure able to get the ball back to Masucci. We got three guys in the same space. They need to find a way to sort that out. And they do. Marmol tries to get that header off. Another aggressive save by A.J. Ewing, who on every punt actually steps out over the goal box. Could be a distinction without a difference, but something I've noticed on every punt so far. McGaffin's challenged by Keita. That ball goes out. Now McGaffin's going to throw that ball deep for Tyler Gannon, and that results in a goal kick. Jackson Bazzer will line up with 31:50 remaining in the first half. Score is 0-0. So far, Indians controlling the attack. Bazzer's kick doesn't quite go where he wants it. Keita's able to corral it about the 35-yard line, right on the touch line. Playing the ball through for Antosh. Just can't field it cleanly. There's a two-car pileup. That was Lehnert and Masucci. It looked like they got tangled up there. Now the ball on the far side with Christian Werner. Werner playing Antosh. Antosh content to play it back to Patuch, who turns that ball over to Nicholas Lehnert. Werner battling with Nip over there, able to beat him toward the sideline to play Antosh, and he got a whistle against the Vikings. Patuch with the ball sitting right on midfield. Service is into the corner of the box, and Ewing will just come out and scoop that up. No real threat on that. Ewing's punt is away. Bounces. Farmer jumps up backwards for some reason. Turns his butt into it. And DiMatteo with the ball. Now Keita picks that pass off, able to pick it up again. Looking for Marmol. Can't find him. DiMatteo picks that off and plays it out. Keita to throw this ball from the 40. He's got Bruzdowitz checking in close. Masucci running toward the line. He's going to throw it deep for Marmol. Tries to skim it over to Antosh. Can't play it cleanly. It's back to Keita now, who does a little Maradona move and gets it to Farmer. No. Farmer standing there watching it, and Marco Morgano stepped in to stop that play. Now Dobbs going to track it down. He's content to play it out wide. Let the Cavalry come back and help. Substitutions in for Central Catholic. Ryan Cooper, Chris Wilkinson, and Francisco Gloninger check into the game. And Gloninger's throw.
Number 6.
Looked like Liam Pulford with a trip on Nathan Farmer. Matthew Dobb to play this from about 18 yards out. He's up looking for someone down the line. First touch won by the Vikings, then back to Keita, who just plays it out of bounds. Big throw down the line. Farmer trying to get up. Keita and Masucci. Marmol able to pick off Lehnert's pass. White throw that looks like Casey Shore to throw the ball in for the Vikings. And DiMatteo trying to play nip through. He gets it to nip, but not on the run, so the attack kind of stalls. Now Antosh able to pick that off. Gets the ball to Bruzdowitz. He's got players streaking down this side. Looks like Masucci trying to find some space. Finds Masucci. Masucci drops it back to Kita, checks his shoulder, plays Farmer. Farmer tries to one-time it through. Another hospital pass, nothing on it. Can't get it back to Masucci, so that's a turnover. Now here comes Ryan Cooper down the side. He'll square off with Patuch. He's able to beat Patuch. Farmer steps in to blocks that shot. Now Dobby comes out hard. He's going to carry it down that far side, down the left side. And he's going to look for Marmol. Marmol able to turn it with a nice ball to Bruzdowitz. Bruzdowitz going. He's got a lot of white jerseys in front of him, but here comes Masucci to help. And I think they're calling that a goal kick. It'll be Casey Shore with the goal kick. Is that Piskorski able to get up and get that header? Now Kita able to bounce it off of the Kita able to bounce it off of Gloninger for the throw. Quickly thrown into Farmer, turns it over. Now he steps back in and wins it. Now Masucci to Kita, Kita over to Piskorski. Piskorski going to change the field to the far side for Werner. Werner surveys, plays it back to the middle for Bruzdowitz. Back to Werner. Not a lot of movement right now. Now Antosh. Antosh trying to take it down into the corner. Too many white jerseys. DiMatteo picks it up and he turns it over to Bruzdowitz. Now Bruzdowitz looking for Farmer. Farmer going to try to bring it all the way over. He's going to try to find Kita on the run to see if he can save it. Not quite. It's the right idea. It's got to be better on the execution. Sam Little to throw the ball in. Kita gets up and gets a header on that one. Now Masucci trying to skim it. Can't get to it. Kita able to get a toe on it. And Farmer, no. Results in an Indians throw. We've got a substitution for the Indians. Looks like Anthony Mellegrain checking back in for John Patuch. Mellegrain back from a concussion protocol. Suffered against USC a couple of weeks ago. And he's going to come right in and take this throw, and he'll throw it down the line for Antosh. He's able to get a foot on it and play it off of 45, off of Gloninger, I'm sorry. Kita surveys, tries to find somebody. He's got Farmer now making a run into the box. Goes right through his legs, and Little able to get that ball up and out, but that's going to result in another Indians throw for Anthony Mellegrain. Mellegrain looking for Farmer. Farmer not able to hit that cleanly, but Marmol tries to dive in and make something happen. It was already over the end line. That'll be a goal kick. And it'll be most likely Casey Shore lined up to take this goal kick for the Vikings with 23:45 remaining in the first half. We're scoreless here at Peters Township Stadium. Shore's kick is away. First ball looks like it's won by Ryan Cooper for the Vikings. Then Dobby steps in, gets the second ball. Marmol's going to give chase. And Sam Little's going to play it back to Ewing. Ewing doesn't get all of that one, so Antosh is able to bring it down with his chest about 30 yards out. That's a good effort by Antosh. Going to play to Masucci. They're going to go left for Werner. Werner's going to put it at the top of the box. He's looking for Kita, who can get a toe on it. Oh, Turf Monster got him. Here comes the ball. Now Kita's going to check back harder. Masucci will step in and win that one. Now that's a turnover again for Lehner. Lehner picks up the TO for the Vikings. And Mello puts the ball in the box, but we didn't have any attackers. So Ewing will gobble that one up, and he'll punt it away. Again, a relatively short punt. Goes about to the 40-yard line where Masucci's able to get the first touch. Now Gloniger to Nip. Nip to Little. Little to Lehner. And well, they're calling that out on, that's interesting. They're calling it a white throw. Roll back the tape on that one. I'm not sure how that's not a red throw. Tyler Gannon checks in for Nicholas Lehnert. Now here comes the attack for Ryan Cooper. Brozowicz tracking back. Now Milligrain. Now Poskorsky. Now DiMattio's out at the outside of the box. And he's able to draw the corner. It's like DiMattio to take the corner. DiMattio himself a Peters Township resident. Indians lined up to defend. All happened too quick for me to be able to call it. Nip tries to play it in. Milligrain plays it back out. Now it's back on the other side of the 50. But here they come again. Gloniger pulls it back on Kita, who's able to find Wilkinson. Wilkinson trying to find Nip. Bazzer comes out, makes a good play, and Dobby gets it out of trouble. So far, best effort, best attack for the Vikings. Sam Little puts the ball in play. Milligrain able to get up, but puts it right back out at the same spot.
11, 19. Keita got it.
Now Keita's able to get the ball. He's looking for Marmol. Marmol, good job, able to turn that ball over to Brozowicz. He's going to try to hit Antosh on the run. Antosh is heading down that far left side. He's dangerous with a cross from over there. He's got numbers in if he can beat his man. Gets it toe poked away, but Farmer's able to save it. Farmer back to Brozowicz. Antosh cycles to the middle now. And he'll drop back out and maybe try to receive a support pass from Brian. One ball out of bounds.
No, I didn't see it. I mean, he called it.
Can't tell if this is a free kick. Yeah, it looks like he's pointing to the ground. So looks like a free kick over there for Brozowicz. It's a dangerous position. Dangerous attack here. That ball's played low, though. Hits the wall. Not what we're looking for. That ball skimmed on by Casey Shore. Ewing able to make the play. Not our greatest effort on a free kick on that one. It's like Edmund McManus and Marco Morgano checking in for Gino DiMattio and Chris Wilkinson. First ball and second ball won by the Vikings. Now Poskorsky steps in. See if we can get Mr. Marmol to track it down. Connor Nip content to just play it out. Keita will throw this ball in. He's got Antosh checking towards him, who he'll throw to. Heads it back to Keita. He's able to beat one and beat two. He's in heavy traffic. He plays the ball to Farmer. Farmer's at center playing for Masucci, who's going to play it out wide to Werner. Werner's going to cross that in. No, it's way too deep. Casey Shore's goal kick is away. Kita will step in and win the first ball. Antosh ain't able to get the second, but Dobby hits it with a header. Now Sean Nip on the far side trying to play it through, but Dobby will scoop that up. Can't get his hips around, that's out of bounds for a Vikings throw. Shore's throw is in. And Bruzdowitz with the steal. He's got Masucci running. He hits him in stride. That's a good ball. Now Masucci trying to find Farmer, who gets tangled up a little bit with Gloniger. Gloniger able to take it off his foot. Gloniger trying to play it back, but under heavy pressure from Marmol. Turns it over to Farmer. Farmer back to Marmol. Marmol now in the corner of the box goes down. Now Gloniger again. Ty picks it up, plays it to Kita. Kita surveys, and he's going to play the safe play back to Spencer Piskorski, who's going to change the field. And he's looking for Werner. Werner's going to play it on the ground to Brian, who's going to rip a shot. Goes near post. Ewing able to come out and make the diving save, gives up the rebound. Casey Shore able to get it out of danger. Mellegrain will go over and take this throw from about 40 yards out for the Indians. It's Casey Shore. Now Bruzdowitz looks for Werner. Werner puts it across. Gets tangled up. Now Masucci trying to head it into the box. Sean Nip clears it wide. A lot of white jerseys packed in that box right now. Bruzdowitz to Piskorski. Piskorski playing it wide for Kita. Takes his man towards the corner. Oh, there's a tackle from behind is kind of what that looked like to me, but no foul. Kita quickly throws it into Antosh. Antosh back to Kita, who's going to serve it in kind of like a corner. Oh, that's up and off the crossbar. That must have been off the field goal, the goal post, because they're going to call it a goal kick. Masiosi checks into the game for Gloniger, who came up hobbling after that tackle on Kita. And here comes Tyler Gannon with the ball. He's trying to play it through for Masiosi, who just checked in. But Dobb breaks that up. Now Kita's going to play that ball down the line, but that's deflected. And that's Lehnert with the ball looking for Sean Nip.
17.
That's Morgano. The Vikings trying to attack down that far side. Now here comes the ball. Let's see if Austin Marmol can get there.
14 hits it out.
And Connor Nip able to win the foot race this time. Christian Werner lined up to take the throw for the Indians. Not a lot of movement for him. He finds Masucci. Immediately loses possession. We'll see if Ryan Cooper able to control that ball under pressure from Mellegrain. Now Ty Antosh comes up with it. Finds Masucci. Looking for Farmer. Farmer can't control it. Now here comes the Nip. Sean Nip down that far side. Rips a shot off.
Keep him honest.
But Jackson Baz are able to make the save. I think Nip got a whole lot on that one. Bazer's punt is away. And that's a one by Nicholas Lehnert. And Nip plays that ball through again. He's looking for Ed McManus, but Piskorski able to turn the ball, get it out of bounds. 13 remaining in the first half. We're scoreless.
34 back in.
Looks like Sam Little to take this kick. DiMatteo checks back in,
For 11.
takes Ryan Cooper out.
Off of Anthony's head.
Little's throw.
Wait.
Keita heads it. It's another throw for the Vikings. This ball is thrown into the box. Farmer can't get anything on it. Now Dobby. Whoa, wow, a little misfire there. Bazzer was right behind Dobby. Able to just fall on it. That could have had a different outcome.
10.
Now Nip heads it through to DiMatteo. DiMatteo streaking. Takes his shot, but Piskorski able to stop it. But we have another corner kick for the Vikings. DiMatteo lines up to take that. DiMattio's service is up. And looks like Antosh got something on it, got it back out. And who was that that ripped the shot from the corner of the box, but it goes wide. Results in a goal kick. As was going wide, looking for Keita. He's able to shield his man off. Able to beat two, but not the third. And there was a delayed whistle. Casey sure to take this free kick on the Keita penalty. He puts that ball up in the box. It's not a bad ball at all. Wow. That's interesting.
He caught him.
Sean Nip trying to track that ball down, as was Jackson Bazzer, and just collided. That was interesting. Bazzer's kick is away. That first ball won by Nip. Now Farmer trying to make it happen. He can't get to it. Nip again. Now Piskorski. Keita tries to get a head on it. He goes down. Now Antosh will try to track the ball down and get it from Masiosi. Now the ball played all the way back to Ewing, who will play it out to midfield for DiMatteo. Masucci gets the ball to Brusdowitz. Brusdowitz drops it back to Piskorski, who's looking for Werner on the far side. Now Werner looking for Marmol. Marmol able to turn it, but not control it. It's pinging and ponging. Now Keita will pick it up with a little bit of time. See what he decides to do. He's going to play short for Antosh. He's going to give him a 1-2. That's a great ball. He tries to one-time it through. Draws the handball. Looks like it must be just outside the box. This looks like Nathan Farmer is going to line up to take this kick. And we're holding the clock. Yeah, looks like they're going to reach in the pocket and book the coach here. Central Catholic head coach gets a yellow card with 9:19 remaining. Farmer lined up to take this kick. About 14 yards out. This could be a dangerous opportunity for the Indians. We're waiting the referee's signal. Farmer's kick bending in. Unable to get there, though. Marco Morgano able to head it away. Was it a foul on Werner? A little habeas gravis on Werner. So we're coming out. Vikings from right about the top of the box. Where goalkeeper A.J. Ewing will put the ball in play for the Vikings. Ewing's kick is away. And it's like Werner actually gets the first touch on it. Now it's going to go back to Kita. He's trying to find Brusdowitz. Doesn't get to him clean. But Shore heads it out of bounds. And looks like Christian Ruschel is going to come in for Austin Marmol. Give him a break. That ball thrown in for Brusdowitz. What's Brusdowitz going to do? He's going to find Antosh. Antosh is going to be looking for Werner making that run into the corner. This is a good run. Ruschel can't quite get there. Rolls about 4 yards out all the way across. And that's going to be a throw-in for the Vikings. It was a nice cross by Christian Werner. Ball never came in, which I thought meant they got to throw it again. No. Maybe that's a misunderstanding of me and the rule book. I thought if it never came in, they did it again. It was Melagrange's throw into the box, looking for Ty Antosh. Antosh gets ahead, and then Ruschel gets ahead on it. But Ewing able to come and get that one. Ruschel not able to get a whole lot on that one. 7:11 remaining. Ewing's punt is away. That's a deep one. Dobby has to give chase. He gets up, gets ahead on it. Now Farmer able to get up and get something on it. Still not out of trouble, though. Still banging around down there. Dobby goes down. There's a two-car pileup at the arc.
Dobby now. To Brian, maybe.
Now Brian checks back to win it. He's going to find Antosh at midfield. Antosh going to change the field, looking for Werner, making that run. That's a good ball. We've got a lot of runners if we can get the ball in. Werner trying to figure out what he wants to do with it. He's going to try to take his man to the corner. Nice slide tackle by Sean Knipp to stall the attack of the Indians. Werner's throw in from about 6 yards out. He's going to find Masucci. Masucci unable to handle it clean. Still banging around out there. And which way is they going? No, that's a Peters ball. Werner's cross is away. He's looking for Kita. He's got Kita on the far side. Nutmegs his man. Kita on the 6. Tries to shoot lefty. Gets blocked.
Sorry, I was killing the bee.
Appreciate it. Now Kita's still fighting down inside the box there. That's DiMatteo against Melagrange and Brusdowitz. Brusdowitz retreats slightly to find Masucci. Masucci to Farmer on the square pass. Farmer looks for Werner. Werner trying to put it in the box. That's blocked by Knipp, by Sean Knipp. Farmer tries to get around on it. Looks like it goes off his shin. Misses that one altogether. Now Masucci to Werner again. Werner at the corner of the box, puts it across on the ground, finds Antosh. It's like it hit somebody's leg in there, and it just spun harmlessly into the hands of A.J. Ewing. Good effort, but we've got to find a way to squeeze the trigger and finish those. 4:50 remaining. Melagrange heads it. Kita's going to try to track it down and save it, which he does. He's able to beat Masiosi, get him turned around and go back down the line. Nice turn to beat his man. He's going to go square for Farmer, who will leave it for Werner. Werner will take it down the far side looking for Ruschel. Ruschel can't control it clean, but does get it back to Werner to Farmer. Farmer back to Ruschel. Now Ruschel's going to try to find Brusdowitz, who looks like Sam Little picks his pocket. But then Masucci picks that up to Antosh. Antosh surveys. He's going to hit a nice lefty. No. Somehow did not see Sean Knipp standing there. Put it right on his foot. We got Mellegrain over there battling against McManus. Now DiMattio's going to play that back down into the corner for McManus. Let's see what he can do with it. Piskorski right place to get a big foot on that. Clear the ball out.
19 to 25 in.
And we've got Chris Wilkinson and Colton Shovlin checking into the game.
20 off, 17.
You're going to replace Marco Morgano and Tyler Gannon.
Off and Marmol on.
Looks like Anthony Kita will take a break and Marmol will come back on. With 3:17 remaining. Mellegrain tries to clear it out, but there's no pressure. Now we've got Christian Ruschel applying some pressure. But Sam Little able to turn the ball around him now. Antosh applies pressure. Now Marmol.
19 to 15.
Now Lehnert. Woo! There's a dangerous opportunity. Bazer's goal kick is away. Farmer unable to field it. Now Marmol in traffic, able to clear it out, but to nobody except for Sam Little. Sam Little able to play it back to Connor Nip. Now Nip to Little. Dancing with the touchline here. Antosh applies some pressure. Back to Nip. Nip will change that ball over to Casey Shore. They're going to try to come up the other side where Christian Ruschel applies pressure. And seems like the Peters Township fans wanted that one to go red. The referee says it's a white throw. Piskorski steps in just to get the ball out of danger. Puts the ball over to Sam Little, who will play it back to Ewing. And Ruschel will apply pressure on Ewing. Ewing dumps that ball out, and he finds Chris Wilkinson. He's looking for Sean Nip, can't find him. Werner, and now Farmer able to turn it, goes down in the process. Got 90 ticks left on the clock in this first half. Still scoreless. Now that Shore trying to play the ball. He doesn't get that one clean. It kind of comes off the side of his foot. And we've got Marmol over here battling against Masiosi. And they'll play that one back to Shore again. Shore will play it back to Ewing. Ewing's kick is away, trying to find Sean Nip. Now Masiosi trying to do something. Now Lehnert bringing the ball down this near side with 50 seconds remaining. Mellegrain able to get a toe poke on that and slow the attack with 45 seconds remaining. This looks like Ed McManus to throw the ball in. McManus puts it into the box. Piskorski gets the first header on it. Ball played back to Little. Little's going to try to put it back up in the box again. Bazer calls off his defense. Comes out, gobbles it up with 17 seconds remaining. He'll just play this one slow. Well, slower I would have thought. Looks like DiMattio got something on that first ball. Then to Lehnert. Lehnert back to Shore. Under heavy pressure from Christian Ruschel. And that'll do it for the first half. Indians 0, Vikings 0. We'll see you in 10 minutes. And we're ready to fire up the second half. Here at Peters Township Indians versus Central Catholic Vikings. Score knotted up at 0. Beautiful 67-degree day here in McMurray. Went up 2 degrees since we started. Slight breeze. Great day for soccer. Indians moving right to left. That ball taken the tip from Shore. Back to Nip. Now Werner able to pick his pocket. Looking for Antosh. Plays it behind him. Now Keita's going to step in. And he's trying to get to Werner. That pass broken up. Now Antosh trying to make something happen. Kita able to chest it down. Playing Brustowitz down in the corner. They've got bodies if he can get it across. Brustowitz passes up. And tie. Now, all right. Wow. That was binging and banging. I think Kita gets credit for the goal. I'm not entirely sure it was across the goal line before the defender hit it. So it may have been an own goal, but we're calling it for him. Goal, Anthony Kita. Indians jump out to a 1-0 lead here at 39-18. That was 39-20 at the time of the goal remaining. It's like Piskorski to take that throw for the Indians. He's going to look for Kita. Kita back to Piskorski, who's going to launch it long and wide. I think he wanted to hit Brustowitz, who was perched up there around the 35-yard line, but he couldn't get his hips around on it. This will be Brian McGaffin with the throw for the Vikings. Piskorski able to head it back. Now Marmel's going to give chase here, see if he can beat it. Oh, he jumps over the slide tackle by Shore. Now Antosh coming down this left side, see if he can beat his man, which he does, but goes down, no call. And A.J. Ewing will come pick that up. Ewing's punt is away. It's bouncing. Kita backs up and finds it. Controls it, turns his man, comes to the middle, too many legs, able to maintain possession though and find Masucci on the far side. Now Masucci battling, trying to get it back to Kita. Turns and beats one, can't beat two. Masucci again. Kita and Masucci just banging like crazy on that far side. Now Marmel finds himself in the mixer. Nip clears it out, but it's coming quickly the other way. Now Werner steps in. Werner going down the line for Antosh. Antosh able to beat his man, but the ball goes out of bounds. It results in a Vikings throw. That ball received by Liam Pulford, who's going to try to change the field. Kita toe pokes that one away. He's going to try to find Antosh, which he does. Antosh looking for Marmel. Now Marmel out wide to Werner. Werner tries to make the cross in. Casey Shore gets a piece of that, and that'll be a corner kick for the Indians. It's like Brian Brustowitz. Yeah, there's definitely a piece of foreign material on the field giving us a glare. Indians with two inside tight on the goalie. The other one's coming off the 18. That ball goes right to Ewing. Gives up the rebound. Antosh gets something on it now. Patuch puts it back in. And Ewing comes out and scoops that one up to deny the opportunity for the Indians. 36-20 remaining in the match. Indians lead 1-0. Now Sean Nip gets the ball. He's trying to find Marco Morgano. Now Werner able to steal that ball. And he's challenged by Tyler Gannon. Comes out, puts the ball out of play. Piskorski on this near side. Throws it into Werner. Quickly back to Piskorski. He's going to go down the line looking for Brustowitz. So he was trying to do on the other side just a few minutes ago. Brustowitz putting on a little show there. Oh, can't control it though. That's a red throw. Much to the dismay of Connor Nip. Werner's throw into Antosh. Antosh can't control it, and that goes white. AR calls white ball. But I think, well, I thought the center ref was going to overrule him and go red. They kind of look at each other and decide it's a white ball. And that was Liam Pulford who pulls that one down. That's picked off by Ty Antosh. I think he was looking for Brian to make that run to continue to the outside. Brian cut to the inside, turned it over, but now Farmer's there to win it. Farmer, I think that's a bit of a gift. Farmer goes down. I'm not so sure I saw the trip. I think that was a turf monster, but we'll take it. Brian Brusowitz from 35 yards out. Bends this ball in. That's a nice looking ball.
Off the 10's head, corner.
And that looks like it went off of Nip's head, off of Sean Nip's head. And looks like Farmer will be headed to that far side to tee up the corner for the Indians. I think Marmol and Keita sitting up tight near the post. Everyone else will start their runs from the 18. That service is in. And Morgano able to clear it out, but then Paszkorski puts it back in. They call Keita for being off. The ball changed directions too quick. He couldn't get back. Casey Shore puts the ball in play on the offside call. And everybody misses it. Keita steps in and puts it forward, looking for Brian. Off of Brian, now Ty Antosh tries to apply pressure. Ball's back again to Keita, who finds Brusowitz, who looks back to Keita in midfield. Turns his man, plays square for Nathan Farmer. Farmer looked like it actually hit the referee, but it finds Marmol's foot over here to Werner. Werner's going to draw them back in. He's going to come all the way back across. I think he was looking for Keita or Masucci, but it was in no man's land now. Paszkorski to Keita, who's streaking down the sideline there. He's going to take his man to the corner of the box. Hits it with a lefty. Goes down. Didn't get much on it. Now Farmer able to control. He's going to try to play Keita, who kind of gets turned around. The ball played a little bit behind him. He spun around and just lost control of it. Lost sight of it, I should say. And that ball goes out of bounds for a throw-in for the Vikings. And it looks like Chris Wilkinson checks in for the Vikings. Takes Nicholas Lehnert out. Dobby clears that ball down the far sideline, trying to find, I think he was trying to find Keita.
Anthony's coming out. Is he hurt? Is he limping?
Keita's going to come out, and Smelko checks in. Looks like the training staff tending to Keita over there. Now it makes sense why they would have put that substitution in at this time. $13:45 remaining.
13:45.
Strike that. 31:45.
I'm looking like, wow.
Rheumatism's acting up on me. Now Paszkorski applies pressure. Now Masucci. Dobby steps in to clear it out. Antosh will try to stop that from coming back in, but he can't get there. Bazzer comes out, thwarts the attack. Now Antosh has the ball at the 40. He's playing it back to Werner. I thought he was looking for Marmol. All right, now Brian's doing a great ball. Oh, wow. Fantastic save, A.J. Ewing. I was already ready to celebrate the second goal. That was a great shot by Brian Brusowitz and results in a corner for the Indians. That far side, it will be Nathan Farmer to put this service in. Looks like we only have Marmol sitting up there near the goal line. Everyone else now making their run from the 18. Now Brusowitz will jog down there. Ball is up. It's banging around. I can't tell. Looks like Masucci maybe have got a foot on it. Now Antosh with the header. Brusowitz.
Marmol.
And that ball's up and over again. Another quality opportunity for the Indians. We got to find a way to finish some of these boys. Goal kick is away. Marmol gets up. A little scrum here at midfield. And it looks like Pulford over to Morgano. Morgano able to control it. And he'll play that ball back to Connor Nip, who finds Pulford, who finds Wilkinson. And finally, Farmer breaks it up. Takes the heat out of the kitchen, Nathan Farmer does. Like William Kolick checks into the game for Brian McGaffin for the Indians. For the Vikings. Now Masucci able to bring down that throw in, but unable to control it. That ball goes out of bounds for yet another Vikings throw. Now Antosh with the ball. He's going to try to find Brzdowitz, and they're going to call Brzdowitz offside. And much to the credit of the referee on the far side, he did not give us the football encroachment call. So gold star for him. Shore's kick is away. Off the offside call. Piskorski steps in, sends that the other direction. Tries to track down his own ball. Unable to get there. Takes Sam Little to throw this ball in right around midfield for the Vikings. Now Pulford working against Farmer. Again, another substitution here.
32 for 20.
It's Ethan Hess coming in for Tyler Gannon. Farmer steps in hard, heads that one back out of bounds, and we'll move the ball down the field a few yards and do it again. Little's throw to DiMatteo. DiMatteo turns to the inside, puts the ball in the box. Bazzer able to come out and make the save. Great play, Jackson Bazzer. Masucci gets the first touch on that one. Smelko and Kolick working against each other down there. Kolick gets the better of that exchange. Ball still taking the right bounces in, but it looks like finally they call it out of bounds over there. It's like Matthew Zagrocki checks into the game for Gino DiMatteo. It's like Nate Danina checks in for Ethan Smelko. Now Brzdowitz going to take his man to the outside. That's Sean Nip, who's able to toe poke that one away, but Werner's there to pick it up. And Werner up and over, but nobody there on the attack. A.J. Ewing will call his defenders off, allow his team to reset at 26:10 remaining. Ewing will punt it away. And Marmol tries to make something happen there at midfield. Ball still controlled by the Vikings. Antosh supplying the pressure. That ball not played cleanly. Masucci able to come out off of Ewing's kick. Oh, great ball by Antosh to Brzdowitz, who's able to turn and fire it first time. Ewing gives up the small rebound. No one there. He crawls on all fours to get it back. Good effort by A.J. Ewing. Ball won by Farmer off the punt to Masucci. Masucci turns that one over to Morgano. Now Patuch turns, can't get it out of danger yet. That's Kolick on the far side. He gets the ball off to Morgano, back to Kolick, who turns that ball over to Masucci. And Masucci to Antosh. Antosh can try to bring it back across the middle, looking for Marmol. Errant pass, that's a turnover. Now Werner and Piskorski in the same space. They need to be a little more vocal down there. It's like Anthony Mellegrain's going to come in for John Patuch. And it looks like Lehnert and DiMatteo back in for the Vikings.
6:32.
Now Masucci with control of the ball, trying to play it forward. A little too much mustard on that one. But Little will play that one back to Ewing, so he has to use his feet. And Turf Monster reaches up and grabs Nate Danina. That is an Indians throw in. Looks like Mellegrain to take this throw from about 40 yards out. Mellegrain's ball looking in the corner for Antosh. Casey Shore gets up and gets something on that one, resulting in another Indians throw. Probably about 10 yards out. Mellegrain's throw into the box. Antosh gets up, gets a head on it. Still banging around back there. Ewing comes up with it. Antosh knocking on the door today with a couple of different headers. He may be due for one yet. Masucci wins the free kick, gets whoa, wow, big collision over there. DiMatteo and Marmol collide right in front of the Peters bench. Now Brustowitz to take this one. He plays it low and short for Mellegrain, right to the corner. Mellegrain can't field it cleanly. Now Danina's going to try to get there. Back to Mellegrain. No dice. That's a white throw. Take Edwin McManus checking in.
For number 6.
And that's Liam Pulford coming off. That's Sam Little throws the ball in for the Vikings. Now Mellegrain gets it to Brustowitz. Brustowitz still trying to make it. Comes out with it on the other end. He's got numbers in there. Can he beat his man? He does. Puts the ball across low and hard to Antosh, who puts it in on the near post. I told you he was sniffing around that goal and he was going to get one. Fantastic cross by Brian Brustowitz and finished by Tyson Antosh. Antosh set Keita up against Cannon Mack a week ago on a play exactly like that. So it's his turn to reap the rewards of getting the goal. At 22:06, the Indians take a 2-0 lead. Now Antosh applies pressure again. Masucci's going to try to find him. That ball goes a little wide, but Antosh applies pressure against Shore. Shore knocks that ball out of bounds, and that'll be an Indians throw for Christian Werner. Werner's going to play short to Piskorski, who's going to dump it back to Werner. Beats his man. Square pass over to Farmer. Farmer trying to change the field. Misses the mark. Now here comes Kolick. That'll be an Indians throw quickly by Mellegrain. Mellegrain down the line looking for Masucci. Masucci able to bring it down. No, he brings it off his head, but does find Marmol. Now Marmol finds Farmer in space. Farmer's going to change that field. Good ball over to Werner. Werner beats his man, gets it to Brustowitz. Brustowitz struggling a little bit here, but able to maintain possession. They're doubling him up. And they're calling that a red throw here, it looks like.
11:45 in.
You got Ryan Cooper checking in, as well as Francesco Gloninger. Kolik's coming off. And Matthew Zagrocki. And I was wrong. That's not an Indians throw. They were just holding the throw for the substitution. Looking for Nip. That goes over. Farmer finds it. Gets it to Werner. Werner finds... No, unfortunately, finds Shore. Now Mellegrain gets up. Farmer takes a little shot in the back of the head. Stays up. Mellegrain gets it to Werner. He's got Brusdowitz. If he can hit him down the line, he chooses to go inside to Antosh. Now Antosh is going to find Brian. And apparently Brian was sitting just offside. I'm going to watch that one on the replay again. Casey Shore's kick is away. Mellegrain gets up, gets ahead on that. Now Antosh will win it. Turn it to Brusdowitz, who can't quite get there. Casey Shore steps in, stops that one. Small collision with Antosh. Now Shore again. He's trying to skim it on. Looks like they're going to call, was that Mellegrain? Yes. Mellegrain on the foul against Ryan Cooper. Little push in the back. And we'll see Casey Shore line up from 40 yards out. Indians will hold at the 18. This could be a dangerous opportunity for the Vikings. And Shore's kick is away and directly to Bazzer. Well played, Jackson Bazzer. Now Antosh to Brusdowitz. Had Brusdowitz tippy-toeing down the line. 18:43 remaining. Brusdowitz decides to cut it back. Gets his pocket picked. But that is an Indians throw. We've got a free kick for Brian Brusdowitz here. I thought we just had a throw. Ewing comes out, punches that out. We're going to see Werner track all the way to the far side of the field to try to keep that ball in play. And unable to do so. Little collision on the far side. It's going to be a Vikings throw. And another Vikings substitution. Tyler Gannon checks back in. That'll be Sam Little. Interesting. Gannon waves him back onto the field. Antosh applies pressure to that throw in and does a great job. Makes them play it out of bounds. Now it's a red throw. It looks like, was that Danina that threw it in over to Brusdowitz? Marmol trying to do something. Can't quite make it happen. And it goes off the back of Werner's heel. Ball comes quickly to Farmer. Can't control it. Ball's out of bounds. Now it looks like Danina's going to check out for Zach Gallagher, I believe. All right, Sean Nip gets his pocket picked by Werner. Now Brian slicing and dicing. Goes for the far post and just a bit outside. Brian Brusdowitz, fantastic individual effort to get the open shot and just misses. 16:40 remaining. Indians lead 2-0. A.J. Ewing's goal kick is up, and Farmer looks like the first one to get a very decent touch on it, but turns that one back over to, I believe that's Nicholas Lehnert. Now that ball's coming down the far side to Ryan Cooper. He will defer to Francesco Gloninger on the throw. Farmer turns it. He's looking for Antosh. Can't field it cleanly. Now Sean Nip is going to try to find Nick Laynard. He takes a bad touch. Now Brian tried to turn it, but I don't know whether he didn't feel Casey Shore on his shoulder or not. But we at least have the throw. Christian Werner takes a short throw to Brusdowitz. Brusdowitz beats one. Gets into traffic, finds Marmol standing there in the middle, kind of wide open, looking for Antosh. Came in kind of hot. He didn't field it cleanly. Now comes DiMatteo coming the other way. He's going to try to play it to the corner. He's got a man streaking, but Dobby's going to get there first. And Dobby just plays it out of bounds. Waits for the cavalry to arrive. Gino DiMatteo for the throw, and that's picked up by Mellegrain. Mellegrain dumps it back up the field. Shore is able to beat Brusdowitz, and you hear Jackson Bazzer screaming, keep, calling off his defense. Excellent work by Jackson Bazzer to control the game from back there. His punt is away looking for Antosh. It goes to Casey Shore, who's going to play it back to A.J. Ewing, and Indians content to let that happen. Now Dobby will play it back the other direction. He finds the chest of Brian Brusdowitz. And Brian is looking for Antosh, but somehow bangs back off and gets back to Brusdowitz. And out of all that mess, we get a corner kick somehow. And we've got 14 even to play. Christian Ruschel going to check in for Tyson Antosh. Christian Werner lines up to take this corner kick for the Indians. That service is up, and it's a little deep. Farmer's going to track it down. Is able to beat one. Puts that cross in. Bangs off. Now Mellegrain. Now Brusdowitz. Brusdowitz will hit it lefty from about 25 and goes wide. Shore's goal kick is away. Picked off by Mellegrain. A collision here and another call against Mellegrain. Casey Shore will line up to take this kick for the Vikings. Shore's kick is away. And it looked like Piskorski got a head on it. And again, Jackson Bazzer in control of his box back there. Calls off the defense and comes out and gobbles it up. Another good effort by Jackson Bazzer, whose punt is away looking for Masucci. Can't find him, but Werner's able to pick it up. Finds Ruschel, who one times it back looking for Marmol in traffic. Can't control it. DiMatteo chasing it down on that far side. DiMatteo versus Piskorski. Piskorski will just shepherd it out of bounds. Piskorski's throw looking for Gallagher. And Gallagher goes down. Looks like he draws the foul. Take Spencer Piskorski to take the free kick on the foul against Gallagher. And I think Spencer would like to have that one back. That one just goes, never gets inbounds. Looks like we've got Brian McGaffin checking back in for Francesco Gloninger for the Vikings. Gaffin takes the throw. Farmer gets ahead on it. And they're going to get Austin Marmol for over the back. Now that's one you don't see every day. Kid 5'0" gets an over the back call. Let him know you're there, Austin. Shore's kick is away. Ball's up in the box, and Mellegrain gets a head on it to Gallagher. Gallagher.
Back to Gallagher.
Gallagher's going to carry it and try to get it to Brusdowitz. That pass broken up by Connor Nip. Another round of substitutions here.
54, 28, 24.
Here we got Matthew Shearer checking in.
24, 28, 54.
Jonathan Miles.
Head. Gallagher's head. 15's head.
Ping ponging back and forth
Gallagher's
here.
Head,
And
head.
eventually we've got some kind of call. Looks like maybe going against Gallagher based on where he pointed and where he's going to place the ball.
9 taking the kick.
Casey Shore to take this ball. This free kick at 9:35.
Connor's in now. Where'd he come?
And Bazzer able to collect that free kick. Looks like Connor Lopez has checked into the game, and looks like he must have come in for Mr. Brusdowitz. Apologize, Connor, for missing that. Must have been the same time as the big change for the Vikings. Farmer to Ruschel. Ruschel to Masucci. Masucci over to Ruschel. And Connor Lopez has a big collision with A.J. Ewing in the corner of the box. Both players up. Another call amongst like 10 headers in a row. Not sure exactly who that was on, but Mellegrain will kick this from the 45-yard line. 8:18 remaining. Looks like we got a big wholesale change coming in for Peters again. That ball gets to Werner, and Sean Nip and Christian Ruschel will bang out here on the side. Ruschel plays it in quickly for Marmol. Marmol able to turn it back to Werner. Werner puts that ball up and over. I think that was Liam Pulford who got a head on it to send it the other direction. Now Zach Gallagher will track it down. He beats his man. Puts the ball in for Lopez. Lopez trying to hit Piskorski, streaking down the side. That's a good ball right across the ground on the right on the ground. Nice flat cross. Now Mellegrain over to Werner. Werner able to do a little tiptoe stuff there. That was nice. Now Marmol sees Ruschel sitting out there in the flat. And good tackle by Nip. Just enough to break it up. Marmol controls it again. Puts the ball on the ground to Werner in the box. And Marmol pulls a shot off. Goes right to A.J. Ewing. Good effort by the Indians. 7 minutes remaining. Got Dominic Sambuco, Nate Danina, Casey Bolseco, and Parker Lewis checking into the game. It looks like Masucci, Farmer, Marmol, and Werner will take a seat. Now Mellegrain's going to get that ball to Ruschel. Ruschel goes down. Yep, there's a trip. Mellegrain to take this free kick. He's going to try to find Sambuco. No. I think that was the plan. It just didn't execute. Now Danina's got it. He finds Sambuco. That's a good ball. Sambuco back to Parker Lewis. Lewis going to take Sean Nip, and this is going to go out for a corner. Excellent work. Yeah, that was deflected off of Sean Nip. Good pressure by Parker Lewis to draw the corner. And Nate Danina will line up to take this corner kick with 5:25 remaining as Indians lead 2-0. Ruschel, the lone man in. Everyone else starts their run from the 18. Danina signals. That's a good deep ball. Hard. Oh, Mellegrain off the crossbar. Off the field goal crossbar, however. So that results in a goal kick. Good effort. Good service. And way to get up on that one for Mello. Goal kick is away. That ball. It's like Sambuco is going to pick that up at midfield. He'll find Ruschel. Ruschel's going to find Danina. That's a fancy little ball. Danina can't field it cleanly, but Casey Bolsecco wins it back, fields it back to Dom Sambuco, plays it again to Parker Lewis. His body was zigging and the ball was zagging. His momentum just took him the wrong way. Now Piskorski over there going to battle. I'm not sure what the call was there, but it's going the Vikings' way. Casey Shore with the ball sitting on the Indians' 40-yard line with 4 minutes to play. He puts that ball up, and Jackson Bazer, fantastic job to reach out over the head of Sean Nip and grab it before he could get anything on it. Another great save by Jackson Bazer. Now Danina finds himself with the ball, battling with Nip. And that'll be a Vikings throw. Matthews and Creamer check in. And Nip and Leonard check out. Another free kick here. Now this one's sitting on the 25. We'll see what Casey Shore does with this one. And that ball is up. And again, Bazer. Right place. Bazer making it look easy back there today, which we know it's not, but he's doing a great job. Now Casey Bolsecco comes in hard and goes down. Christian Ruschel applies pressure. And Mellegrain happy to just let that one go out of bounds for an Indians throw. We have 2:35 remaining. Indians lead by 2. Mellegrain's throw over the head of Christian Ruschel, trying to lead him into the corner. And Ruschel able to bank it off of the Vikings player. Looks like Gallagher's going to throw this one. He's going to look for Ruschel again. Now Gallagher's going to put it up and in play. That's not a bad ball. Forces Ewing to come out and play it. Parker Lewis applies some pressure, but Ewing able to get there. Now Sambuco makes a nice play. Now Lewis and Danino apply pressure. And they'll play it back to Ewing again with 1:45 on the clock. Sambuco breaks that up with a header. Now Danina going to play down the line, but no runner. Casey Shore will step into that one. Dobby will put a head on it. Now Sambuco is going to challenge again. Seemed like a little bit of a ticky-tack call there. Not so sure I would call that one, but alas, it goes against Dom Sambuco. Ball sits on the 35-yard line with 65 ticks remaining. Casey Shore will put this in. Let's watch Jackson Bazzer do what he does again. Ball banging around in the box. Casey Bolsecco gets it out. Now Gallagher's going to put it out onto Dobby's foot. Now Dobby's going to carry it. Center back Matt Dobb. Whoa, 2-car, 3-car pile up. Looked like a clean tackle. Got to the ball first. Good effort by Matt Dobb. We've got a red throw with 30 seconds remaining. Dom Sambuca will put this one back in play for the Indians. That ball skimmed on by Casey Shore. 15 seconds remaining in that. Should just about do it. 10. Sambuco's throw into the box. And that will do it. The Indians beat the Vikings of Central Catholic 2-0. Both goals coming in the second half. The first one by Anthony Kita. Second one by Tyson Antosh. We'll see you back here on Tuesday against Bethel Park. Back to section play. Signing off for Peters Township TV. This is Mike Kita with my ace spotter, Scott Antosh.